independent radio show in Connecticut. Titanium Radio. On 89.9 Cuee FM, Hartford.
Titanium Radio at Titanium_radio. B Davis on the. I'm all messed up, man. I'm not on the ones and twos. DJ QT on the ones and twos. Darius behind the camera. B Davis here. My name is B Davis. We got a special guest in the building. Q Music in the building.
What's good? What's good, y'all?
I'm good, man.
Appreciate
I'm good.
you for having me.
Man, appreciate you passing through. You know what I'm saying? I found your music curating the playlist for the Beat, Hartford Public Library.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah, that's how I discovered you.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, this has a fresh like hip hop feel. You could tell that this person loves hip hop.
I do.
So that's where I feel like, the connection was made. What made me interested in who is Q,
Yeah.
Then I started to do my research and I found out that, you were in Connecticut, so I was like, yo, why not reach out?
Absolutely. I love that.
But then I did more research and I realized you're not from Connecticut.
No, I'm not.
So
I'm new to Connecticut.
Yeah, new to Connecticut. How long you been in CT?
About 2 years.
2 years?
Over 2 years. This will be the third year. So
Okay.
I'm going on 3 years.
Okay. What brought you to CT?
Love brought me to CT.
That's usually what it is. That's usually what it is.
Absolutely.
So she was from CT?
She's from CT.
Okay.
From CT.
So did you have any preconceptions of what Connecticut was going to be like?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no idea what Connecticut was like. I had to honestly look at the map and be like, oh, okay, that's where we headed. We right here. And so I came in with a fresh slate, fresh mind. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, to be honest. The huge selling point was the fact that, New York and Boston was so close, and I was like, okay, let me go try the East Coast thing out. I'm a Midwest kid, East Coast was real new. It was actually my first time on the East Coast.
Really?
Yeah, in general.
Wow.
So it was I just jumped right in. I was just like, all right, we here, let's do it. Got my feet wet the first couple of years, started to meet a lot of people around, really get connected with the scene. I really pay homage to that and respect all the artists here. And then now I'm kind of like, all right, it's time to get out there.
Right. Start to spread your CT wings.
Absolutely.
You originally grew up in Chicago, right?
Chicago, yeah. Chicago,
what was that like? Like growing up in Chicago I've been to Chicago on tour with my guy Fuego Bass and
Okay.
yo, it's a beautiful city.
Yeah,
beautiful city.
Appreciate
and it's
that.
really black. really, really black. Really yo, you
Yes.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Compared to Connecticut, right?
Compared to Connecticut, but I wouldn't say necessarily like Hartford. Hartford, it made me feel at home a little bit.
That's what. No.
Partner, I was like, yo.
There's. That's how you know, right?
Yeah.
So we was in Chicago in the South Side, and it felt like home.
Yeah.
It felt black. Like, yeah, this is it. So what was your childhood like growing up in Chicago in that type of environment?
It was super black. It was all about the culture. I think Chicago, we have this culture that is unmatched. And from a little kid, they instill it in us, right? It's like, it's amazing. It's pretty dope. I grew up on the west side of Chicago. There's always that beef between south side, west side. And so... grew up listening to amazing dope artists, dope music coming out of Chicago. My stepdad was a DJ, rapper. He rode with Twista and all of them, and so just being in that scene alone was real dope.
I could hear a little bit of Twista in your flow sometimes.
Yes, that tracks. I definitely had the opportunity to hang out, meet him for a little bit and get a lot of insight. Do or Die too. I don't know if you go way back, Do or Die. My dad DJ for them and stuff like that. So a lot of my pen and stuff.
Wow.
That's why when you said hip hop, yeah, that rings.
Yeah. Nah, you can feel it.
Yeah.
It's a hip hop is like it's a culture. I want to say it's a religion. I want to use those type of words. It's a lifestyle.
It's a
so
lifestyle.
when you see somebody else living the lifestyle, regardless of whatever else they can do, whatever else they do, you like, nah, that's hip hop right there. They appreciate the culture.
Respect. I do. I really do.
Where does that? I mean, you said your father was a DJ. Like talk about that. Like what stopped you from being a DJ? Because I feel like a lot of people that grow up with their fathers being a DJ, they usually end up being a DJ.
Well, because I started off as a poet, so I was like, dang, how do I like incorporate music to these words? And hearing him play, you know, he was a house DJ too, house and rap.
House is big in Chicago.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So being able to like really tap into that talent and say, okay, I want to put my words to this music, and having his support from the jump was, I think, iconic. It was like, it was one of those things of like, okay, I'm solidifying myself in this. And hip hop is all storytelling, and I'm a storyteller, and so it's pretty dope. And I'm a radio DJ too. I do some of this in Kansas City. So
you. That's what I also wanted to
Yeah.
mention. Like, you weren't just growing up in Chicago. You grew up like kind of like multiple places in the
I'm a
Midwest.
true Sagittarius. You know, we all over. We just be all over. I went to college in Kansas, and so I spent some time there.
Got it. Growing up, being that your father's a DJ and like well established on tour with Twist and Do or Die, all those type of groups, legendary Chicago groups.
Legendary.
Do you feel added pressure?
Yeah.
You feel like you got to live up to something?
I level up, and you know, the critiques came in hot and heavy.
Yeah,
you know, he would be
yeah.
like, nah, go run that back, scratch that, you know. And so I always had to like be on my P's and Q's, and having people to like look up to and let me know. Like, there was times in my music career where I was like, I'm not even gonna make it, because
Yeah.
this is rough. But having that support and having those people to be like, nah, you got this. Like, you got a voice in hip hop, you should use it.
Yeah. What was the biggest key do you think? You talk about the cosign from your dad. What other keys or things that may have happened throughout your career that, you know, adds to your confidence and your swagger?
Ooh, that's a beautiful thing. Nice question. You know, honestly, starting my career in Lawrence, Kansas, and getting the support from the community really solidified that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Right before I left, I was starting to make waves there. Like, they had my face on banners all through the city, opening up for big major artists coming in. And at that point, I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing right here. I just feel at home with it every time. I'm in the studio. I really love performing live. That is my thing. It's an amazing thing.
So did moving to Connecticut, a brand new music scene, did that shake your confidence a little bit?
Absolutely. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I remember telling my partner, I was like, dang, I just started getting hot in Kansas. Now I gotta go and move over to the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I'm not the type to come into the city and act like hot stuff. You know, I'm like, let me figure out who here. Meet a lot of artists. That was my first go-to. I really wanted to understand the culture here and like what I was getting myself into. And so once when I took that route, I felt a lot more confident in coming in, and I don't know, like super cocky, you know, like.
So what's the difference? Because I've never been to Kansas. I've never been to Kansas.
You know, I get that often. That's nothing new.
Yeah, I haven't been to Kansas yet. What would you say is like biggest differences or similarities also between the Connecticut music scene and the music scene in Kansas? Because I don't know a rapper that comes from Kansas. Is there one? Could you name one?
We got Tech Nine.
Oh, okay. He's from Kansas?
Yeah, well,
okay.
Kansas City, Missouri, but you know,
Okay,
they
okay,
kinda
okay,
kinda
got
married
you.
together.
Okay.
They gonna hate that I said that, but yeah, they kind of married together. That's, I think, the biggest artists. They got a lot of other artists that's kind of underground big there. None that I believe y'all would know over here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
That was one thing they did say was like, bro, once you get over to the East Coast, start bringing us over there so that we can kind of, you know,
bridge the
that
gap.
So
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that was real dope. And
Right.
so I'm excited to bring some friends over here and like really bridge the communities together. I would say one big difference between Kansas and Hartford that I noticed is a lot of the hip hop artists and stuff here, they all perform with like bands and stuff, which I think is dope.
The hip hop performers here?
Yeah, I
Wow.
see some that have like full bands.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's the level that I perform with a band a couple times, takes your set to a different level.
Absolutely.
And it's real musicians. Like, musicianship here is like dope. And jazz, I mess with it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that something you incorporate into your music, or is that something you just listen to on a ride home from work type of thing?
I never incorporated it into my music, but I would not be opposed to that. But I definitely just listen to it. You know, it's that house cleanup music. My mom turned it on.
Got you.
You know, and then coming here, being able to like go to Jazz Fest and like really be into it, I'm like, okay, this is hot.
You gotta love the Jazz Fest.
I do. Yeah, it's a good time.
Especially if you're from out of town. Like, we don't really have like a lot to offer. But we got the Jazz Fest.
Y'all got the Jazz Fest. I mean, my mom the other day was like, I need to come out to Connecticut. When should I come? Immediately, Jazz Fest. It was like simple. I was like, that's the time you need to come. And it's going to be nice outside. Just come in. So that's a good pull.
I almost got into a fight at the Jazz Fest.
I wouldn't deny that either. It's a lot of stuff happening at the Jazz Fest. There's a lot going on. I think we lost some cell phones and stuff. And, it's been a time. Yeah.
Yo, your work in music also intersects with activism and community building. How does that show up in your career?
Whew. So I'm an activist too at heart. I think I've been telling myself a lot. I look out to Tupac a lot, and he not only was rapping and doing the thing, he was out fighting and he was out changing society in ways that we couldn't imagine, right? And I think as hip hop, it's telling stories. It's about the culture. That's about our life. And especially my life and my identities is really important for me to speak up, speak out. And I kind of became like this, I guess, this symbol, etc. And so I kind of feel like a commitment to it.
Yeah.
Push for it.
Have you received any pushback?
Absolutely.
What's that like? What's that like?
Whew, it depends on who it's coming from, where it's coming from. If it's online in the trolls, that's an easy block, delete, be blessed kind of situation. But when it's in person, or it's people that I'm like really trying to maintain connections with, I have to process that. I have to really go through the motions and be like, all right,
Yeah, I feel like in no other time were there more people being cut off because of what they thought.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like in the past few years, I've like friendships have been distorted because of ideologies, and I don't know if that's ever been the case before.
I think with social media too, people are feeling like this thing where they just like, this is how I feel and that's it. I don't even want to budge. I don't even want to listen to your side.
Yeah.
This side.
I feel like before we were able to coexist more. I know that sounds like, I don't know. Even if like you, whatever he may have thought, yeah, that's just my boy that thinks like that. That's still my boy though. You feel me?
Yeah. I think people holding a lot of people accountable too for the way they show up, right? I think on the latter end, you be like my mom always be like, there's 1 billion people on this planet. Don't be out here begging people to be your friend.
Mm-hmm,
so I think with that mindset,
that's a true story. It's a lot less chasing going on these days.
It's a lot less chasing. I'm like, you know what? You can't respect me and what I got going. You can go over there and you can support from this side.
Yeah.
And I think energy, like you named, energy is huge. This generation, we all about energy.
Facts.
We got around
Facts.
us.
Vibes.
And like
The vibes. Yeah.
And I feel that. I feel that because I don't want no haters around me.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But isn't that hard to have a difference of opinion or thought or challenging your thought or opinion at times if you just surround yourself with people that think like you?
Yeah, I think it is necessary. It is necessary, but it all boils down to respect. I think when people lose respect for other people, that's when you can't coexist in rooms. I'm friends with people who I wouldn't even live the lifestyle they live, honestly, right? That is you. But we respect each other, no calling, out of the names or doing anything that I'll be like, yo, that will be hurtful. They'll stop it, But we can still hold our different values, our different viewpoints in the same room, in the same space, as long as there's respect.
Right. No, that's a fact. Respect goes a long way.
Yeah.
In conversations, period. I feel like that's a major point that gets lost. And it's like, it's hard to contextualize respect on social media.
Absolutely.
Because everybody wants to have the slickest comment or the wittiest comeback. So
Or
it's
the last word.
Yeah, or the last word. So
I can't be
respect
talking.
goes
That be
out
me
of-
sometimes. But yeah.
Yo, especially if it's on my post, I'm definitely gonna get the last word on my post.
Okay, I'm like, who you think you talking
Come
to?
on now.
Yo,
Yo, being like, modeling. I don't know, modeling kind of after Tupac or using Tupac as a reference, right?
Yeah.
And spreading your message of, your slogan. What's your slogan?
What's my
It's on the
slogan?
back of your hoodie.
Oh, Black Trans Joy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Spreading the slogan throughout the world. Black Trans Joy throughout the
You got me
world.
for a second. I was like,
Wait, what is my slogan? That's why she's here.
She looked back, what?
That was like a layup. That was an alley-oop. Hey, man, spreading the message of black trans joy through the world, like, you know, conversations based on respect. Like, for me, my experience with pronouns started probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fair.
In a room where I probably I might have not have been if I wasn't friends with certain people, and I had to get those experiences of just being outside of my comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
And they went around the room asking, people were introducing themselves and saying what their pronouns were, and I was just like, wow, this is real. I thought this was just on the internet. Like, this was my first experience with it. So I was like, it's one of those things where it was like, wow, this is really real. So what's the significance of pronouns to you?
That word respect. I think you want to be called what you want to be called. Sometimes I break it down for people like this. It's like your nickname. I know that's real weird to say, but follow me, especially black people. We love a good nickname.
We love it. We love it.
Nickname.
It's almost branding.
It's almost branding. And sometimes if you got a name that you be like, do not call me that, and be like, that is, you respect that. And for me, when folks are like, these are my pronouns, this is what I want to be called, that is so easy and simple. We can switch a name real quick. We can do all of that. And I think pronouns fall right in line with that. And I think we don't think back to English classes when they were introducing pronouns, because I know like they, them really get people going. They were like, a singular person cannot be they, them. And I'm always like, when you don't know anybody's name, pronoun, I'm sitting here talking about Tyler, and you be like, dang, is Tyler a girl or a boy? I don't know. Them, right? Automatically, you will say that. And so I tell people, you already doing it. You just trying to push back to be different, but just like you said, you had that experience. You looked around, you was like, wow, people really doing this. And now you were able to go around the room. Somebody be like, this is my pronoun. You mess up a little bit. That's okay. That's okay. Just correct yourself. Keep it going.
That was good.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like you practiced that. Like, do you do interviews a lot about these type of subject matters?
I do panels, I do talks, workshops. Part of my activism work is like I go on campuses and community groups, and people hire me to come and have conversations. I do a lot of teachings online, and I had to really coach family and friends through pronouns too. So I didn't come from a space where everybody just got it.
So that's where I feel like the most experience comes from, especially you being black.
Poof.
Like the pushback, and it's like it might not even be a disrespectful on purpose type of pushback, right?
I had to learn that. Like, not everybody trying to disrespect you.
Yeah, they just don't know.
They just don't
like,
know.
literally, this is all just new. This is all brand new. So, like, talk about your experience dealing with that, like, teaching people.
Once I got to the point of, like, some people are not trying to be harmful. Some people just don't know. Some people really struggle. I was able to come from a place of grace and, like, really, like, hold people where they are, really help them get through it. Like my 88-year-old great aunt, love her to death.
Yeah.
She still can't get it right to this day.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I know her heart is pure. And in some places and spaces, she says it correctly. But then sometimes she just really just be in it, you know? And so like in situations like that, I've learned to really calibrate back. Back in the day, I would have been like, I'm cutting her off. And then I was like, though, dude, that's messed up. You can't cut off like your 80-year-old aunt who like really trying to get this right, like. And so it's again like intent versus impact. Like, how is it really like affecting me? There's like an instance like my dad was struggling for a while. My dad was struggling, and I think it was him having to like let go of who I was and like really like hone in on it. He was stuck. He was struggling.
Yeah.
We got into some battles. We got into it. I didn't hold as much grace with him because I expected more. I'm like, come on, Pops, like, let's do it. But he there now. And so, again, it just takes time. It really takes time.
Yo, your Pops being a DJ on the road.
Yeah.
In the culture, I'm just putting I'm putting myself in that.
My stepdad is the DJ.
Got you. So
he got
so
it.
you're
He
okay.
was easy.
Okay.
My Pops.
Okay. Did you have a close relationship with your pops?
Yeah.
Before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was really confusing too. And I think that also was what was hard for him.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Whoa, like, I got your name tattooed. No,
Yeah.
well, you gotta go get that redone. You know, it's those moments of like, yeah.
Yo, we got Q music in the building. Is it just Q or is it Q
It's
music?
just Q. But
just Q.
You know, I be ringing with the Q music too.
Yeah, I like it. Q music got a ring to it.
Yeah, some people
Q's
say
in the
that.
building. Yeah, we got some music, man. What's the first joint you want to jump into?
And let's get him. We just introduced ourselves. I got this latest track I released on my Transformation album. It's called Who. Just telling people a little bit about myself.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Q in the Q music in the building. Titanium Radio. Part of my stuffy nose, man, is throwing my words off too. It's 89.9 Cute FM. Keep it locked.
Me and DJ Cuee got to get together one day and get some mixes going.
Titanium Radio at Titanium_radio. B Davis here, DJ QT on the ones and twos. Darius behind the camera. That was music from Q. Q music in the building. What was the name of that one right there?
That last one was Shook.
Shook. Got me shook up. That hip hop vibe. Real hip hop, man.
Absolutely.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it, man.
Paying homage to the great LL, you know?
Yeah, man. I was reading your bio. It was like describing you like, yeah, you got the swagger, LL, Cool J. I said, whoa, slow down. Slow down.
Man, forced to be reckoned with. You know?
So you said that was off of what album was that?
Shook. This is off the Transformation album.
And how many albums do you have?
Ooh, that's a great question. 3.
3 albums.
3 albums, a lot of EPs, and a lot of singles.
Yeah. What goes into the process of coming up with the project? Because I feel like your recent releases have been message driven. So are you working towards a project that's more focused around one central message?
Absolutely. What I'm wearing on my back, Black Trans Joy, and like embodying what that means. And with joy comes grief. With joy comes, pettiness, etc. And so right now I am working on a new project, full-length project. I'm gonna be releasing it over time. Real intentional about it this time, covering all of those topics.
How do you stay joyful during this political climate?
That's a great question. Ooh, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm not as joyful, but I think that's a good question. I look to my people. I stay in community. I go back to the people that make me feel good, that know how to love me, that know how to like talk to me, and remind me of my purpose, remind me of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And it all brings it back up. It's just like joy is at the center of everything I do. It's at the center of everything I do. It helps me get through the things that I do. And so I find joy in all of that. And if I can't find joy, then it's not for me.
Being outspoken on social media, do people from your friend group, your family members, do they ever hit you like, yo, chill? They snatching people off the streets nowadays.
Ooh, yes, I get that often, and some of it is like safety. I get it. So some people are like, yo, I don't want nobody. I don't like when people talking reckless to you online. Do you need me to go beat them up? Kind of thing. Yeah, I get often people who love me and care about me. They reach out. They say, stop engaging. don't talk to them. They just trying to provoke you. And then sometimes I'm like, yeah, you're right. And other times the fire in me be like, nah, I gotta say, I gotta get my last word in.
It's the Tupac. It's the Tupac.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone that is following in your footsteps?
Don't give up. Don't give up. I know that sounds so cliche.
It does.
But
it does.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because there was plenty of times that I wanted to give up, and I would not be where I'm at today if I did that. And I tell everybody, you might not be for everybody, but you for somebody. And when you find those somebodies, it's gonna feel real good. And so that was like me trying to be in a room full of rap, like that is not my vibe, not my feel, and trying to find a space that was hard. But once I found my people, and I found the ones who wanted to listen to my music, the ones who appreciate hip hop, appreciate the storytelling, they started to come up, and I was like, okay, found my people. So don't give up. Don't give up.
Spreading black trans joy, I feel like, Jay-Z once said that Kanye was like the first Indian over the hill to get hit with all the arrows, right? And you see kind of what happened to Kanye in the years that followed that. But that's kind of might be a bad example. But my example is, I'm bringing that up to say that, you might be one of the first.
Yeah. Right?
We haven't seen a lot of Q musics in hip hop and rap.
Whew. Yeah, it's not our kind of world. I'll tell you that. Like, yeah, hip hop is transphobic. Hip hop is homophobic. It's a space that got a lot of learning. They got a lot of learning and growing to do. And so, I'm happy to be able to be in spaces. Like, one of my friends, artists out in Kansas City, was like, Q, I just think you can relate to everybody. And I think that's what make it a little bit easier. Like, you have this presence about yourself that folks can come in and say, I may not have agreed with that before, but you kind of cool. So what's this about? And so I take that and I run with that, and I'm like, how do I come into these spaces, spread the word, try to like show people our joy? Like, it's not all this, we are people, we are here, joyful, like, love on us, we right back tenfold. Are
you offended by the game pause?
Am I offended by the game pause?
Yeah, you know the game pause? Like no pause, like Cam Mace pause?
No, I don't know that.
No pause?
No.
Okay.
That went over my head.
Okay.
I'm the only one that hit it, don't know that?
You know, okay.
Is that a Connecticut thing?
Yeah, they be like pause. Yeah.
Okay.
Cause no, how do you feel about that?
I think I need to know a little bit more about it.
Well, that's basically the basic explanation of that is.
Someone said something like, "I am homophobic," and maybe like pause, like,
oh,
like I'm not gay.
Oh, I don't get it.
Is that a Harvard thing?
Yeah, that might be a Harvard thing.
No, it's not. It's not a Harvard thing. It's a cultural thing at this point. It used to be just like a New York City, East Coast thing.
No,
yeah, but it's less offensive. Yeah, but it's in the same vein as that.
Hey, y'all put me on tonight. Thank you.
Yeah. So the only reason I bring it up is because we were talking about transphobia in the culture, homophobia in the culture, and things like that is pervasive throughout the culture.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to get your perspective on things like that.
Yeah. No. If people saying it to me, no, I don't take offense to it. I know who I am, and I know. Because
I just
so confident in it.
I wanted to get your
tell me who
your
I
perspective
am.
on it. For sure. It's Titanium Radio 89.9 QFM. Q is in the building, man.
I'm here.
Yes, it's been a pleasure talking to you, getting your insight. You're very knowledgeable and prepared to speak on behalf of your experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that's important. What's some goals for you this year?
Ooh, major collaborations. That's a big goal. I'm trying to step out the box and really like hit up people and say, let's collab in the community and out the community. It's a big goal. I think like, what else is a big goal? Really? Oh, absolutely. That is the other goal. I am on the road to reaching 100,000 cuties.
Talk about that. Talk about what is a cutie? What is a cutie?
And look, cuties. Cuties is the fan base. Cuties could be anybody who want to support the journey, anybody who think they cute. Yeah, I mean, they all be cuties. But yeah, it's the real solid. The fan base is what I call all my fans, the people who support me, and support the journey.
That's dope. On a road to 1,000.
On the road to 100,000.
Oh, 100,000. I'm low balling.
You low ball. Yeah,
way low
we
balling.
passed 1,000.
Yeah, way past.
I did start there though.
What number you at? Where you at with it?
We had like 31.
Okay.
31,000. So everybody listening, go ahead and follow me, SCUEE Music, on all platforms.
Road to 100K.
100K. When I hit 100K, we gonna throw a extravaganza.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have y'all out there, and we gonna have a good time.
Pull up, man. You got 2 DJs in the building and a cameraman.
And y'all come already.
Let's do
ready.
it. Yes. Yo, my last question before we jump into the last joint, man. And this is an interesting time in American history right now. I feel like on all sides of whoever you are, if you are paying attention, this is an interesting time.
Very.
Where do you think America will look like in 20, 25 years when it comes to spreading black trans joy?
I'll tell you what I dream of it to be.
Dream on, player.
Because my thoughts, those probably dark.
well, give us the dark and give us the light.
Okay, the dark, depending on what road we go down, I'm gonna be living in a different country.
Did you pick one out yet?
Ooh,
I say France. I got France.
Really?
Yeah, I already said France. Yeah.
Yes, where you going?
Yeah.
I want to go to like Spain, Brazil. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's down the road, because I think if we going in the direction we are right now, this is not going to be a nice place for a lot of people, and not just black trans people. Like a lot of folks not going to find a home and space here. That's the dark side.
Give us the light now. Give us the light. Give us the light.
Everybody getting along. People are like, y'all just people, and we just living and doing it, and we out here. We are just having a great time. Yeah, we all don't have to work as hard either. That one.
Facts. We got more machines doing more stuff.
Just joy. Just doing things that bring us joy.
I like it. Q, what's the last joy you're getting into?
You know, we had a little mishap on the thing, so I only had 2 for y'all today.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
I'm gonna send y'all some more stuff.
Yeah, do that.
And we gonna get that going.
Let's do it, man.
That's being authentic and honest right here on the air.
That's it.
Yeah, we had a little mishap, but
yeah, we gonna get it right.
Always.
Q Music, man. We appreciate you passing through.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
You already know. Give out your contacts one time, how the people could get a hold of you.
All right, cuties. Y'all listening? Okay. At Q Music, at CUEE Music on Instagram. Y'all can do all the Twitters and threads and all of that too, because it's the same everywhere. And if you want to go a little dive deeper, just qmusic.com. Check out the website. Go grab some merch.
Facts.
Go find out where I'm going to be at next, performing next. I'm hitting a couple of prides in CT, so come out and enjoy the time.
Yo, you heard it, man. Q Music, Titanium Radio. Keep it locked.
Ride with the mob. Do I love?
Tune into your radio. This a heavyweight stadium. Music banging loud through your cranium.